for this, let me just pull up my little copy and paste thing. All right. Guys, take a moment. Look at your scene partner. This is your scene partner. Say hello. Know that you've got each other's backs, which is the most important thing in the world. So for this, I'm going to be sending in your chat first is going to be your starting and ending stuff. And now in your chat, Janice is. And then to kick things off, just as far as like giving you guys a nice solid setup, you two are co-workers and it is Bill's last day. So we're co-workers. I don't know where you're going to discover that as the scene goes on. And it's Bill's last day at this job. About 4 to 5 minutes in, I will pop on and say end scene, and then we'll give some notes. So I'm going to disappear now. Take a moment. Whenever you guys are ready, you can begin.
Well, yeah. You know, I used to own this building, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah, I know. Your name is on the building, the building plaque outside. I know that. I'm going to really miss you, John, Mr. Harris. It's these 4 or 5 years you have really taught me a lot. It's not enough. I'm so sorry you're leaving.
Well, uh, I did the best I could. This was a family business. Uh, we've we've had it in with this company, Acorn Biscuit Company, for generations, and it's been a wonderful ride for all of me, for both me and my family. And in many ways, as sad as I am, as upset as I am, um, I think I can look back in pride at what we accomplished here, making the finest
You're
biscuits.
making me so sad.
Not everyone can make
I'm gonna miss you
biscuits
so
out of acorns, but our family was able to do that, and
much.
I carry with that a lot of pride. And
But you know what? I got pride too. And you know what? I promise you, I'm going to step into your shoes and I'm going to make this company go further than where you did.
well, to be honest with you, I never liked being on top. I always preferred kind of the grunt work.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You're so good at it. I thought you loved it. But you know what? I love it. And I'm going to take your legacy and I'm going to make this into a multi-million dollar enterprise. You taught me well. I want you to know that.
Well, um, you know, when you do take this company over, um, if there are any openings down, you know, in the warehouse, nothing would make me happier.
Oh, you know you got a job here anytime. Anytime.
That would be great.
Yes, don't
That's
worry.
all
You
I
don't even
want to
have to
do.
fill out an application. Just call me.
That would be great. There's a lot of responsibility. You'll soon see at the top, it can really wear you down. And
I know. You taught me well. You don't have to worry about it. You just go on into that little Florida retirement. You deserve it. You hear me?
I
You
just
deserve
want to, I just want to show up every morning, punch the clock, get on my routine, you know, make boxes. All I want to do is make boxes. I want to take those cardboard boxes and turn them into boxes.
Yeah.
They start out flat, and then with my help, I turn those cardboard flat things into boxes all day long.
Sarah, don't worry about it. I'm going to send you a shipment of boxes on your
Good.
retirement.
Because that's all I want. If you do that, if you send me a constant supply of high grade cardboard flat things that have got the creases. So, I mean,
Pieces,
I
yeah,
like the creases.
yeah,
I like, so I
yeah.
don't need to, go into it too deep. But they come down the assembly line. I grab one and I fold it, maybe a little bit. I grab some tape, you know, and
You
then
know,
tape
sir,
it.
you know what? It sounds like you're going to really miss being here.
I'm not going to miss it at all. If you can get me set up in a warehouse that makes cardboard boxes, I would be ecstatic. I've already got the tape. I'm ready to go.
So you want to do this after you take maybe a few weeks after, you're
No,
retiring today,
I will start tomorrow if you're giving me the chance.
tomorrow.
I'll start right now. I've got the tape. I've been working. I've been working. I've got little pieces right here.
There, that was beautiful. I couldn't believe you just whipped out the tape. Fantastic job, guys. Thank you so much for being my first two with this. Great, great, great start. Bill, I don't know what it was about that first line, but I really loved it. I used to own this building. There was such pride. I don't know. I really enjoyed that. And Janice, great, strong emotion and strong status right from the beginning. I felt like I could really feel your status and emotion so, so clearly. And I really enjoyed the two of you together. You guys had a really fun dynamic. I just enjoyed listening to both your voices. There were times where I had my head down writing and I was like, this is very soothing. You sound like a podcast almost. Um, yeah. Okay. So I loved these moments. So for me, Janice, I feel like your shift was the loud cry and I'm going to take on the company, right? Was that kind of like your shift into the high status, right? So I could have used a little bit stronger on your end, Bill. I feel like we got to I didn't see the distinct shift, but I feel like by the end I could definitely tell you were low status and happy. Like it was so fun to listen to you be like, all I need is that cardboard with the creases. I was like, this is great. I love how like into it you are. You found this simple thing. This is a man of simple pleasures. Let's lean into it. I love these lines. You taught me well, and I want you to know that. Janice, fuck yeah. Like, what a great way to just immediately like bond with your scene partner and give depth of history with your scene partner. It's tough at the top. Hey, I know you taught me well. You kept bringing it back. I love that. I love when we have these certain phrases that keep coming up. To me, when we have something like that happen, latch onto it. Maybe you taught me well is because you need to teach him something now. Look at that flip, that switch. I love when we got to the end and you said, it sounds like you're really going to miss this place. And it was such a funny response, Bill, for you to be like, no, no, I'm not going to miss it. You just put me in that basement with the boxes. I was like, this is very funny. All I want to do is make boxes. I don't know why that line made me laugh so hard. My biggest note with this scene, this was so damn good, but we kept getting stuck on stuff, and we had moments where we got off the stuff and we were on each other, but we kept kind of getting stuck on the stuff, and then one of you would like rip away from the stuff and then come back. So don't be afraid to keep it on you guys. The box stuff is hilarious, Bill. Just be building boxes while you're having this conversation. Sniff the cardboard, touch it. You guys can take all the time in the world. Really feel the things that your characters are feeling. If this man loves cardboard, take the time to feel that cardboard, because I think that is fucking awesome. Great, great, great. Thank you both so much for being my first two. I very much appreciate it. Okay, next two up. Where's my paper? Let's get Agnes and Anthony. Okay, so for you two, hello. Let me pull up this. Okay, so first one, this one is coming in for Agnes. And this one is coming at you now, Anthony. And, all right. So take a moment, take this in. Um, look at your scene partner. Know that your scene partner has got your back. You guys are going to do this together no matter what it is. For your starting like scenario thing that everybody knows, you guys are a newly engaged couple and you're looking at wedding venues. That's the setup. So take a moment. Like I said, no rush to start. I'm going to disappear. You guys begin whenever you're ready.
I did it. Hey, hey, honey, how you feeling today? How's everything going?
This is this is just great, Danny. I mean, ever since you proposed to me last night, I just know today is the first day for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I'm glad you're excited. It's stressful and pressure on me because I just got to make sure we're economically fit. I'm thinking about a future with the house and location because you want to be close to your parents and stuff. I want to be close to my parents. It's a lot to think.
It is a lot, and I know we can do it together. As long as we stay together, just me and you and me, we can do this.
Yeah. I'm feeling it. It's a day by day basis. It's gonna increase as time goes on. I'm gonna feel more self assured and confident.
Just Danny, just stay with me. We can do this together. I mean, we've been dating for 5 years, and every day we get stronger and stronger because we learn more about each other. And now we're gonna we're gonna be married soon.
Yeah, it's it's two of us. It's not just one of us. It's a joint thing. I'm all in. Just like the wedding vows say. I believe in those vows. Every word, every to death to us part. Just I'm just battling some things right now, honey. That's
Death?
it. Yeah.
Whoa, wait, death.
Did I say something? What?
You said death.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
mentioned the word death.
It's a common word we use in everyday conversation.
We've never talked about death in the whole time we've been together.
Well, I'm just reiterating the vows, to death to us part. I'm not saying that we're gonna die. I'm not using it and stuff like that. You know, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you. I'm so excited about that because I don't want to be with any other woman except you know who? You. You. Capital
So
Y.
I'm gonna die one day knowing that the only person I've ever been with is you. I I'm a woman. I have needs. I need to be with other men. I don't know if I can do this anymore, Danny.
Where's this coming from all of a sudden? 5 years and all of a sudden, I gave you that beautiful ring and we're engaged. Listen, I'm happy and excited. If you want, this is 2020. If you want to be open, we could be open. If you want, you could date others. I could date others too.
If we're dating others, I don't know why we need to even get married. Why did you propose to me? I don't even know why I said yes. Oh my gosh, and then I might die and knowing that the only person I've ever been with is you.
Honey, listen, I know you were a theater major in college. Are you doing are you doing a performance in front of me right now? Are you? Because I'm telling you, you're pretty damn good.
You know I keep a separation between what I do on stage and what I do in my personal life. This is, it's about time I think we break up.
I'm just trying to make you happy. You said, you don't want to be just with one man. You have needs. So I gave you an option that we could see other people. I'm trying to be flexible. I'm trying to make this relationship expand to meet your needs. So I don't know what you want me to say.
If you've been with me for 5 years, you should know what to say by now.
Man. Here's a tissue, honey. Tissue.
We're gonna call it there. Good job, guys. Fantastic. Nice, clear emotions and right from the top, the both of you. It was super clear who was high, who was low, and who was excited and who was fucking terrified. Anthony, your panic was killing me. I don't know why I was laughing so fucking. I laughed so hard during the scene. I loved the line, "There's two of us. It's a joint thing." It was just so funny. Like it was so believable of like a guy waking up the next day and like the reality of proposing to his girlfriend is set in. And it's like, yeah, it's like, this is great. This is great. There's two of us. It's a joint thing. This is cool. Hey, so it was just really fun to watch. I love the line, "It's a common word. We use it in everyday situations." In what world are we using the word death in everyday situations? That made me laugh. Um, yeah, and such a great choice, Agnes, to switch on that, right? Like, boom, like death, that's a nice clear thing. You can latch onto it, let that kind of spark anxiety and fear. And you picked up on it so perfectly, Anthony. I mean, you were like, "I'm so excited." You were like, "This is great." It was so fun to watch that switch happen for the two of you. Um, okay, so little things. Uh, so yeah, so a little excited. Okay, so excited. All of that. I think the excited was more clear from Agnes and Anthony overall. So like, I don't know. It's a tough one, right, Anthony? Because it's like, how are you supposed to be excited about your girlfriend breaking up with you, right? Where it's like, I don't know, but let's just like explore what that looks like. Maybe it's like, you know what? No, this is good. This is good. I can work on my man cave. I can get a haircut, just like find the things that are going to excite this dude. Um, and then on the flip side, we don't have to, unlike comedic improv, we don't have to take the emotion and amplify it to a million. We can play the more grounded emotions in this class. We don't, and I love it. I love that I have a class full of improvisers because it's the first time ever I'm going to be like, and let's pull it back down to earth. Usually I'm like trying to push everyone in this class, bigger emotions, bigger, but I can tell already that's not going to be a problem. So don't be afraid to let the subtle side of these emotions come out a little bit, especially because we're not on stage. We're on screen. Let's be honest, guys. This is a screen medium. So we can have stuff going on in the eyes. We can have quieter moments in this realm. Okay, so Anthony, I mean, I was laughing so fucking hard when she was like, I think we should end things." And you were literally just smiling at her the whole time. And I was like, "Anthony, either be like, no, or don't just smile at her, or just like literally laugh in her face, right? Like if that's how you're feeling is like humor, this is the class, embrace what you're feeling. So start laughing. So that way it sparks her panic more, right? Like that's all it is. We want to treat these like real situations. And like on the flip side, Agnes, if your partner who you're breaking up with is smiling while you're doing it, you would call it out, right? So like don't need to call it out. I mean, honestly, I love that line. Are you doing a performance right now? Because it's pretty good. I laughed.
She
Yeah,
was great. She was really good.
this is a great. This is my biggest note to, and you guys will hear me make this comparison again, but when it comes to negative emotions, especially, we never, ever, ever, even in dramatic improv, want a negative emotion to be in the driver's seat. The two emotions that we want in the driver's seat at all fucking times are empathy and compassion. That's it. Or vulnerability. Those are the three: empathy, compassion, vulnerability. Those are the ones that you want driving your car. And I really, if it helps you, it helped me when I first started doing this, where it's like, visualize your brain and your emotions all sitting in a car together. And who is driving that car? And if the answer at any point is a negative emotion, anger, sadness, anxiety, panic, whatever, don't let them drive the car. You can let them touch the driver's wheel, but you cannot let them drive the car, because the second you let those negative emotions drive the car, you have lost control of the car. You've lost control of the scene. But you can let those emotions tug on the wheel. You can let those emotions fuck with the radio settings, but you cannot let them drive the car. just a great note for life too. Just put that one in your back pocket, guys. That's some real life therapy stuff. But truly, like, don't let them drive the car. You can always let them touch things, but the second that you let them start driving, then the whole scene becomes a yelling scene or a crying scene or a this scene. You are in control of your car, and all of these emotions are just there to fuck with your stuff, and that's it. Thank you both so much. That was fantastic. Let's get our final duo up. We're gonna have Richard and Janice. Can I have you go a second time, Janice? She's here. Are you here, Janice? Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Disembodied voice.
Yeah.
Yay, awesome. Thank you. Janice, since you had to leave at 7, I wanted to give you an opportunity to play again with Richard before you had to go. So I'm going to send you guys your stuff right now. So let's go with Richard. This one is yours. And Janice, here comes yours now. And for the setup, of this, this one's probably going to be our heaviest one that I've sent today. So this is a nice little challenge for you guys. Take your time with it. We are going to be siblings who have just moved, who have just spent the day moving their mother into a nursing home. So that's the setup. You guys are siblings and you've just spent the day moving mom into a nursing home. Take a moment. Look at your scene partner. This is your partner. They've got your back. Okay. Take your time. Take some time at the beginning of this. Whenever you guys are ready, you can begin.
She's all moved in.
Yeah. You know, this is going to cost us a fortune.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't. If you had just agreed to take her in like we agreed a year ago, then this wouldn't be an issue. And how much it costs wouldn't be an issue.
Howard, you know, I know you're very upset with me, but my life can my life I can't even have a dog. Take care of a dog. How am I gonna take care of mom? Okay? I mean diapers will be on me or whatever that agency about abusing older people.
Vanessa, you said a year ago to this day, you said you were going to get your life together so that when this day came, you would be able to take mom in.
But how
I
but how but you're the more responsible person. You always been since we were kids. Come on, you was gonna leave this up to me. I would have been a disaster. Okay? I would have been a disaster.
I
Look,
would have taken mom in if she had spoken to me in the last 2 years. But did she?
you're taking it personal. You know how we are. We always have problems, communicating with each other. We're having a problem now. You
How
know?
am I not supposed to take it personal that she didn't speak to me for 2 years?
Shh, 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 shh. You don't want to let them know that we're a dysfunctional family, okay?
I know this is an expensive place and it's highly
Yeah,
rated. I don't want to lose our spot.
yeah. Don't let them think that we don't know how to control our emotions here. You know,
I
you're
know
like,
because
can,
if
it's nice. They even have coffee over here. Look, coffee, coffee. Mom loves coffee.
yeah,
So
mom loves coffee.
you should so be happy. So I know until I get on my feet, I can help with the payments. I know, but right now, things are a little tough for me, bro.
Yeah, I know things are tough. I know
Come
things
on,
are tough
come
for
on,
you.
come on, come on. You always been my little brother. Come on, come on.
Things are tough for me too. I have to go. I just checked my mom into a nursing home and I don't even know how she feels about me. She wouldn't even look at me. Like I like I was nothing. Like I wasn't contributing my portion of this, my wallet to this.
You're so cute when you get all upset. You're so cute. I mean, you just got that little boy look. You remind me. It reminds me of that time when we were outside in the backyard.
This is just like what mom does. She like you two belittle me. You take away my whole sense of like being a man. Oh, I'm cute like when I was little. I'm a grown ass man and I don't I
And
like
you're cute. Oh, you're a cute grown man. Come on, bro. Come on. You're gonna get old before your time. You always were. You always been that way.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I
What?
I,
What?
I
What?
worry
What?
that this is how I'm going to be all of
I
always.
know. So why are you making a big deal of it? You're just being you. I love you just the way you are.
Well, I know that you love me, but I don't know if she does. And it that rips me apart.
Oh. Oh. Well, listen, let me tell you. If mom don't love you, I can tell you I love you. And you know what? I'm gonna be here for you emotionally. When you get down and out, you haven't been calling me like you used to. Call me. Talk to me. You know?
Every time every time I call you, I'm afraid that you're going to ask for more help.
That hurt me. That really hurt me.
Well, it's about time that you heard it
Okay.
cuz this family is this family is fucked up. And I don't even I don't know where I belong in it. I don't know if I belong in it.
Oh,
Vanessa, that's just the truth.
oh,
I
I'm gonna call it there just for time, guys, but like fucking bravo. That scene was so good. I mean, you guys are really siblings, right? That's gonna be the like you guys did just do this today. That was so fantastic. Okay. Right from the beginning, incredible physicality. I love a scene that does not start with talking. I love a scene that kind of starts with uncomfortable. How do I be in my body? And I really enjoyed watching the two of you just sort of sit there in it and like feel the vibe. That was so nice. Very clear emotions and status right from the beginning. I could tell that Richard, that you were high status and angry. And I feel like it was like right off of this awesome, awesome line. Like, Janice, I love that you went, it's going to cost us a fortune. What an awesome way to bring anxiety out, right? Money. Like, I feel like that's everyone, when we think anxiety, I feel like most people are anxious about their income and money. So I know I am. So for you to do that immediately, it sparked anxiety in me. And like I forgot that I had given you anxiety as your emotion. And I was like, oh, I'm anxious. And I looked up and I was like, oh, she did it with one line. That was awesome. And then Richard, for you to take that and turn it on her. Well, if you would just take her in like we had agreed, I was like, ooh, there it is. The fucking sibling bashing has started. What I thought was so fantastic, you guys did such a great job with layering in this like deep, rich sibling history that just kept coming out in like the argument side, right? That's what happens when we argue with our brothers and sisters. We bring up the past and like, you're just like mom, or you always do that. And you guys, even when you started to drift into talking about mom or drift into talking about whatever, you kept it on each other. And that is the most important thing in the world. It has nothing to do with mom. It has to do with the fact that your brother doesn't feel like he belongs. And on the flip side, it has to do with the fact that you don't feel like you belong, Richard, right? That your sister is, oh my God, Janice, I wished you were in my family. I'm like, the support that you were giving him in this scene was so fucking beautiful. Like, you know what? Who cares if mom doesn't love you? I love you. It's beautiful. Yes, we need that. Like the reveal that mom doesn't speak to you, Richard, was so great. Such a nice meaty thing for us to play with. I love the moment when you yelled and Janice, you were like, shh, 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 we can't let them know we have a dysfunctional family. I was like, I feel like I'm watching a play right now. This is really fucking good. My biggest note to you two, slow down. There were some moments in there where I was like, just sit in that silence. Just sit in it. And then when you feel like you can't fucking take it anymore, that's when you say the line. Because there was a lot of like, it's been quiet for 3 seconds. Someone talk. There was like a few of those in there where I'm like, we can just sit in those insults. We can just sit in the fact that you just wrecked your sibling or you just heard something about your mother that really impacted you. We're allowed to take that time. Yeah, my
That's interesting, Kimberly, because as improvisationers, that's a problem we have.
yeah,
Slowing down and living in the moment in silence. It's scary. It,
no. So
it's scary. It's like, okay. But I agree with you. If you feel it, you take the time to check in with yourself and
yeah.
to feel it.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm the one who's in control of cutting these scenes. So like if you guys are like taking your time and like I'll let you go on for a 10-minute scene if there's only like 4 or 5 minutes of speaking in it, right? Like if the other 5 minutes is going to be filled with just these like nice earned silences of like, I need a minute. Like we have that in real life. So much about this class is trying to get to a point of recreating life. And I think that's what improv tries to do, comedic improv tries to do is recreate the comedic parts of life. This is just recreating life. So sometimes somebody says something to us and it fucking hurts and we need to stop talking, right? And we need to just absorb it. And sometimes we get really flustered and we jumble our words and we just go blah, blah, to each other, right? Like who cares? That's part of it. And so yes, slow down, sit in those beautiful meaty silences. Because that was like my only note was don't be afraid of the silence as it comes. I mean, like the switch was so nice. It came a little late in the scene, but I didn't care. Just for Richard, for you to switch to anxiety of like, I don't belong and I'm all alone and I don't belong in this family. I mean, I loved it. And I loved when you were like, I just every time I call you, you ask for help. Oh my God, Janice, your reaction to that was so beautiful. I mean, it was so real. It was like, well, that hurt. Yeah, it would hurt. It would fucking hurt, right? And sometimes the things that hurt us the most aren't the things that make us cry or yell or scream. It just literally takes the words out of our mouth. And we just have to sit there. So yeah, guys, that was beautiful. And I so many times, I'm so excited. I'm recording the session. So I'm going to send it to you guys after the fact. I encourage you to go back and watch that scene because it was really, really great.
I thank you, Kimberly, with the correction that you gave. Um, whereabout you said, if never go into the negativity. So that really helped me because Richard was being so negative,
Yeah.
and it was easy for me to say, "Well, and I said, no, let me. How can I turn it? Keep the negative, but let it drive. But as you said, keep it positive."
Yes, you're the one driving the car. You are, you, each one of you. You're the ones driving your car. Don't let your emotions take control of the wheel. They are there to go off on fun side roads and maybe jerk the wheel around a little bit and change the radio stations, but they are not there to drive anything.
When
Every
I
stage.
oh,
Oh, go ahead, Janice.
I'm sorry, Kimberly. That's what helped me bring the line is shh. We don't want people to know that we have a dysfunctional family. So
I
that came natural, like let us not, yeah. So that kind of helped me bring that idea in.
yeah.
And I think I would not have done that if you didn't give that correction earlier.
Well, I'm glad that I usually save that little nugget of truth for like later in the class, but I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna start saying that right from the beginning, and it's already proving to be show some great scene work as a result. Okay, so Janice, I know you have to go. So you can go whenever. It was lovely meeting you, and I'm so excited to work with you again tomorrow. For the rest of us, I really love it. It's a nice little intimate foursome for the last hour. So we're gonna take like a 5-minute brain break. Let's like digest everything we just watched and learned. Go to use the restroom, grab some water. We're gonna be back by 6:03 or 7:03, excuse me, 7:03. And when we come back, we're gonna jump into a Laurent, and I'll get into the specifics of that when we return. So I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Those were such great first round of scene, guys. I'm like, oh, we've like raised the bar for this class already. Um, okay, so this is great. You guys are gonna get a nice little crash course in the Laronde all by yourselves. Have we all performed a Laronde before in our like comedic improv classes? Anyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I think by a
Yeah.
different name.
So LaRonde, yeah, I think sometimes it's referred to as like revolving doors is another word, or is another like name for it. But
Got that slacker.
oh no, so a slacker is totally different than a LaRonde. So a slacker is tag outs only. At least that's how we do it in New York. Is slacker is tag outs only. For a LaRonde is very specific. So what we're going to be doing is in a moment, everyone's going to turn their cameras off except for Richard and Agnes, and the two of them are going to be my starting duo. I'm going to give them a starting relationship of some kind, and then they are going for me to person that about 4 to 5 minutes long. At that point, I'm going to give Bill a little nudge in the chat and say he can pop on whenever. When Bill appears on stage, he's just going to turn his camera on and then wait. He's not going to talk. He's just going to turn his camera on. And Richard and Agnes, you guys are going to find a like ending to your scene. Or Richard, you're going to find an excuse to leave the scene. So maybe you guys are like brother and sister, and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to go help mom with dinner. And so you just exit. At that point, Bill is bringing in a brand new character, and he can take Agnes's character anywhere, anywhere. So we're not staying in a single location. We're not staying at an event. So let's just go with the same example. Richard and Agnes are playing a brother and sister at home for the holidays. At that point, Bill pops on and he's going to take Agnes's character, and he's like, you know what? I kind of want to see Agnes's character at college. So he would pop on, he'd wait until Richard finds a reason to exit, turns his camera off, and then he would just literally start the scene with, you know, Agnes, your grades are slipping pretty drastically since you went home for the holidays. So we really need to discuss what that means for your academic future. And so then he's just going to start a scene with Agnes playing the exact same character from the first scene with Richard, but Bill is taking her character somewhere totally different. We're seeing another side of Agnes's character. So that's kind of the idea behind a Laronde. So let's like if the first scene, so Richard and Agnes are at home. Bill, you don't have to take her to like school or work or whatever. You could come in and be dad if you wanted to. You could pop on and be like, you know, honey, I think you and your brother are just getting a little too chummy. I don't really trust the two of you getting along so well, right? Like that could be the other option. But the whole idea here is for you to take a character and have two scenes to explore the two sides of this person. So in that first scene with Richard and Agnes, let's say like Agnes in that first scene with Richard is like super domineering and like demanding and controlling, and she is clearly the one who is in control of her family. When Bill pops on and takes her character anywhere, maybe just so we can see a nice little flip side to that character, let's see the side of this character that's a little bit weaker, that maybe is a little bit more sensitive or vulnerable, or who is it in their life that they maybe bend to or a little bit softer towards. So that's what I want. And same with the flip side. If you're pretty soft and kind in your first scene, you're still that same character, but then let's see where this character decides to stand up for themselves. Let's see the flip side. And then that scene will continue. Agnes and Bill, your scene will continue until eventually Anthony will pop his camera on. Agnes, at that point, will find a reason to leave or just simply end the scene and turn her camera off. At that point, Anthony will start a scene taking Bill's character anywhere in the world. So let's say Bill decided to come on and be that teacher with Agnes. Anthony's going to pop on and maybe he's going to be Bill's son, or he's going to be another teacher at the university, or another student in Agnes's class, or somebody else in this world. And then we're going to see those two interact. At that point, Eventually, I'm going to give Richard a little nudge, and Richard is going to turn his camera on. You two, Bill and Anthony, will find a nice end to your scene. Bill, you will exit. And then, Richard, you are still the exact same character from your first scene, but now you are trying to find a way to thread a connection between you as that character and wherever the set ends up. So, little hint to making a very successful Laurent. Do not put yourself in the tough position of being the therapist. Don't ever be another character's therapist. The biggest reason for this is because we end up with two things that happen. One, we end up with a scene that is all recap. So if we have a scene with Richard and Agnes and Bill comes on and decides to be Agnes's therapist, then all we're going to hear about in that scene is like the same stuff we heard with Richard, right? Where it's like, my brother doesn't get me, my family's crazy, whatever it is. We're just going to end up recapping what we just saw. We don't want that because it's always about you and your scene partner. And then that's the other issue, that if you play a therapist, now everything in the scene is about your scene partner and has absolutely nothing to do with you. So the next person who's coming in who has to do a scene with your therapist character is being set up in a really tough position because they're not going to know anything about you. They're not going to be able to pull from anything unique to your character. So don't be a therapist. Know each other. Always know your scene partner. And I'll say this, if you want to give yourself that challenge of being a therapist in one of these scenes, that's fine. But I'm going to reference Scrubs again. Just make it a really personal kind of client and therapist relationship. In Scrubs, Dr. Cox's therapist is like a buddy, a drinking buddy in a way, and they had a very different dynamic than the normal therapist would have with their clients. So you can be a therapist, but have a more buddy friendship with them in that same retrospect. Cool. So any questions regarding the Laurent before we dive in? No? Great. So let's get everybody's cameras off except for Richard and Agnes. I'm going to copy and paste over your suggestion now. So guys, look at your scene partner, take them in. Like I said, these scenes are going to last anywhere between 4 to 5 minutes long. So like milk up those silences, enjoy those silences. Remember your space work. Wherever I'm about to tell you guys your relationship and your location, but wherever you end up being, think about what might be in that space. And when in doubt, like interact with the space, move a chair, look at a pamphlet. Just don't be afraid to slow things down a bit. So I'm going to disappear. The suggestion for this is parents at a PTA meeting. You are two parents of separate children. You are not a married couple. You are not parents of the same child. You each have a child and you're both at a PTA meeting. So take a moment whenever you two are ready. You can begin.
So are we choosing our own emotions and stuff this time?
For this, it doesn't matter. So this is we're now removing our away from our warm up exercise of status and emotion. I highly encourage you guys to make that choice absolutely yourself going into this. You know what? I'm going to play a high status character who's having an emotional breakdown. Then just fucking go for it and see what happens. But yeah, I'm not giving you anything besides this, the parents at a PTA meeting. Cool. Awesome. Take your time, guys. Take a moment. Whenever you're ready, you can begin.
These meetings never start on time, do they?
Yeah, well, Stephen, I just don't like that these meetings are so early. I mean, some of us have to take time off of work, and then, that's like, it's like 2 hours where I'm just not getting paid to sit in this meeting where I could have been sitting at work.
Yeah. um, I am actually really glad not to be at work right now. To be honest, it's just been really stressful lately. But I mean, I get it though. Like, like we gotta people's time is valuable, right? That's what people always say. So, um, I mean, I get what you're saying. So yeah,
That's what I hate about PTA meetings. You know what, Stephen? Some of us don't have the luxury to take time off of work and just be. You know, that 2 hours that I took off where I'm not going to get paid means, you know what? My kids are going to have to skip a meal this week just so that I can sit here at this PTA meeting waiting for it to start.
that's um, wow, that's a lot, Karina. Um, Karina, I know that ever since Bob left, things have been kind of difficult. Um, I, I've been there, you know, when Janine left me, 5 years ago. It was really hard, and it's crazy being a single parent. But what I will say to you is that the more you lean on your community or friends, the stronger you are. And what I'm saying, Karina, is that if you need like financial help or whatever, like I'd be happy to you know loan you out. And I know it's weird, I know it's awkward to talk about money between friends or whatever, but like I've got plenty, and it's just sitting there. And I like our kids have been best friends since like second grade, so I wouldn't want you to not be able to feed them.
Okay, so thank you for that offer. But I mean, these are the things that I think make being a single mother just so much more difficult than being a single father. I mean, at work, people expect me to be this strong, domineering boss. And little do they know that I have to balance that with being the perfect mom that goes to the PTA meeting. And they don't know that that balance means, you know, do they skip lunch on a Friday? Or, maybe I just go on a diet all weekend.
Hey, kiddo, I knew I'd see you here at Trader Joe's. You're so predictable, you know. I'm really glad I ran into you. I know I'm supposed to have the kids this weekend, but Larry got the fishing boat and he wants us all to go tuna fishing out at Montauk. And you know how I feel about going fishing. And so I'm just wondering if you wouldn't mind swapping weekends. You take the kids this weekend, so I can go out fishing.
Bob, oh my gosh. Ever since you left, I mean, I'm trying to give you space, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this work between us. It's
Yeah.
it's just it's just hard. It's just really hard.
Really? I thought it was going pretty well. I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I like this new freedom. I mean, look, I I understand. Look, if it were up to me, I'd have the kids all the time. I've just got between my job and this fishing thing. It's not just about going fishing, which I love to do, but I'm these bonds, and if even though we didn't work out, financially, you want me to continue to go in the upward trajectory so that I can help you out. So you know.
I, Bob, you know that I've always tried to give you your space so that you
Yeah.
could be your own person,
Yeah.
and and I know things have been rough between us,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking long term. Maybe down the road, you and I could be a family again.
Well, look, I think that ship has sailed, um, but I think that we can have a great working relationship, making sure the kids are happy, and you and I, we've always gotten along, and I've always thought you were great. I just didn't think the chemistry was there at the end, and so
It's no, but that's something we can work on. We can change. I mean, when when we're together with the kids, it we're just such a great family.
yeah,
Like,
you know, look, we've been over this before, and it's very difficult for me because I really care for you,
I care for you too.
and I will always care for you. You're always going to be at the very top of my list. But that doesn't mean I think we'd be good together anymore. I think once again, I think that ship has sailed, and I think you're great, and I just think that we just need to. We can be like a family apart. I think that's the best way to do it. And a family apart can be really great. You do your thing, I do my thing. I go fishing, you do your thing, whatever it is you do. And, you know, um, maybe we each find new guys and gals and new partners and friends. And, you know, it's going to be great. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm telling you, it's going to be fine. Anyway, think about this
I
weekend, okay?
I
Let me
you
know
know
on that.
I gotta get going. I just realized that
Okay, let
I
me know.
don't have I don't have any money, so I can't really buy any of the groceries here
Oh,
today.
I'll take
But
care of that. I'll take care of it. I'll drop off the stuff back at the house. I'll drop it off. Leave the cart. I'll take your cart. Don't you worry about a thing. I'll talk to you later.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, man, it's been a while since I saw you. Back in the days, we worked together. We used to go out at nighttime when you got married and you had a couple of kids. It's been like years, man. I know you were having a little trouble. That's why I wanted to catch up on you, get some drinks, some food. How's the marriage doing?
Well, Tony, it's great to see you. The old gang. I love talking to you guys. You and Joey
Yeah,
and
Bill, you,
Lou.
you were our leader. We looked up to you.
I don't know
You were
about
the
that.
alpha male. You in the reserves. You were a
Uh,
lieutenant. You
yeah.
were like the commander in chief.
I don't know about that, but hey, it's great to see you. I love getting a beer with you. This is a good idea. The
Yeah,
marriage,
yeah. Get your mind off of things, man. You seem
yeah.
you seem a little distracted, a little distraught.
Well, I was just talking to the to Sally, and we're not together anymore,
What?
and nah, I know it's tough. The chemistry wasn't there anymore. I don't, you think about it. Do I want to spend the rest of my life with this person? I like this person a lot, but do I want to spend the rest of my life with
Yeah,
her?
that's tough. That's a tough
That's
question to
it's
answer.
tough.
That's why I never got married myself. That's why I'm free. I'm independent, man. I
Yeah.
just I just wake up in the morning and I don't have I don't have an agenda. I was like, I could do whatever I want, except for
Yeah.
work, of course. I got to go to work, and my boss
Yeah.
puts these demands on me, because I work in
Yeah.
corporate.
Yeah.
But I can't believe that, man. You guys in high school at the prom,
I know.
you guys were like the
Oh, I
best
know.
couple. You
I
came in,
know.
15th place of the best couple at the prom. 15th. That was pretty good.
Hey, if you asked me back then, I would have said we're gonna be together till death do us part. But things change. I grew in one direction, she went in another, and it's just
Come over here,
what can
bud. Listen, come
um,
over here. Come over. Keep that chin up. Lift that chin up. Lift that chin up.
I,
What do you want? Let's do a shot, man. You're Jack. What do you like? Jack Daniels, Jacob? What was your drink? What was your patent drink, man?
it was a sambuca, I
Oh,
like the
bartender.
sambuca.
Bartender. Yeah.
All
You.
right,
You.
I
Who am I
don't know.
talking to?
I don't
2
drink that
shots.
much anymore. If I
2
drink
shots
one
of Sambuca
sambuca,
for me and my
if I drink
pal here.
one sambuca right now, I'll be
Listen, Sambuca's
pie-eyed.
not that bad.
Oh, it's
It's
the
like a cordial.
sugar.
It's like an after-hour drink, like after a dessert.
Yeah, it's gonna kick my ass. All right, I'll do it for
Okay.
old time's sake, but I'd
Let's do it.
really
Let's do
rather
it,
not.
man. All right. Now, in order to do the shot, I know you're going through a separation.
Yeah.
I want you to say something that you're looking forward to, you want in your future. All right. Let's do it. What do you want?
I want I want a really nice timeshare in the Bahamas.
Oh man, that's okay. I'll drink to that. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Man, that's cool.
Oh God,
Wow.
it's so
I don't know how
sweet.
you like Zampa. Ooh, that hits the throat.
Man, I'll tell you, sambuca. I can't believe I used to drink that stuff all the time. Ay,
Yeah.
ay.
I'm more of a Jack and Coke, Jack Daniels,
Hey, look,
Hennessy.
I got a couple of phone calls to make. Let me talk to you later on, okay?
All right, man. We're gonna text.
Okay,
we're gonna
we'll
follow
talk.
up
We'll
this.
talk.
That's
Hey,
okay.
man, great
Yes.
to see you. Great to
Yeah.
see you.
Keep
All
your
right,
chin up.
bye. Thanks.
Tony, thanks for agreeing to meet in my office. Right, I know it's like right at the end of work. I wanted to chat with you.
Sure. What's on your mind, man? I'm here.
Well, yeah. So like I mean, obviously, like the economy's hurting us right now. Our numbers are down. The whole like votive candle industry is like no one cares.
It's just temporary. It's temporary.
I know. And so
Yeah.
like obviously like just we got there's things that I just need us as a group to be better at. Um you you have been coming into work a little bit later than usual.
Yeah, but I still do what I have to do. I still get my responsibilities and duties, and I have to say, I don't want to sound kind of arrogant. I do them quite well at a high rate. I have to say. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, the
Yeah,
quality of your work is not the issue, but
appreciate that compliment.
yeah, but it's the morale. It's the morale. And when other team members see you coming in late and they're being
Let me ask you a question. Does Michael Jordan come to practice on time?
this isn't the Chicago
All right.
Bulls.
Does Willie Mays? He was one of the best base players ever. Does he go to every practice? Does he skip batting practice?
Tony, listen, I need you to
All right. Does Tony Robbins have a chief administrator?
Tony, look, this isn't like in high school when you were all cool or whatever and like overtalked me. Like this is I am the boss now and I need you to listen.
I'm not
I
over
need you to
talking.
show
I'm
up to work on
talking
time.
you mano a mano, man to man. Last I heard, my blood is red just like yours. And you have a heart and liver, right? You have a heart and liver?
Yeah, I have a heart and a liver.
Okay.
And they
So
show up on my heart and liver and my blood, they all show up on time and you don't. And I need you to listen to me and show up to work or else I'm going to have to write you up.
listen, you do what you got to do. It won't be the first time I got written up. And I tell you right, remember that old saying, it's quality over quantity? How many times I got to say that? I utilize my time to the fullest, I got things to do. I got one of my friends is going through a separation. You be there for him. I have to be there for him.
But we have to separate work from our outside lives. All right, like, I mean, sure, sometimes I have to come in late because I have things for my kids, but I take care of that. I talk to HR. I let them know. I don't just show up an hour late, hour and a half late, and expect no consequences just because I do a good job.
But it's okay that you bring your kids to work. I don't bring my kids to work. Is that okay? I I'm just calling a spade a spade. I don't want to sound hypocritical. I'm just saying. You know, letting out in the open here, putting things on the table. You
That was
putting
one.
things, I'm putting things on the table too.
That was one time, Tony. That was one time, and you know what? That's that was right after Janine left, and for you to bring that up like that. Here's the thing: is that we have to. There, we know each other outside of work. That's fine, but here in the context of work, you have to listen to me, and I am telling you, you need
Uh,
you need to.
don't don't raise your voice to me. Don't.
God,
You're not you're not my daddy. I didn't tell you this, but you know what? Intel and IBM, they've been calling me and emailing me. They're like, "Hey, we heard about your skills, your sales quotas. You're meeting them every month. Come work for us." I didn't want to tell you that. They're trying to hire me. I said no.
Intel, Intel and IBM are after a guy who does marketing or sales for votive candles. That's what you're telling me?
Why not? It's marketing.
This is you to a T. You exaggerate. You play off like everything's cool, but it's not. And it's not cool. You're not cool. You're
Listen, listen.
you're what?
You're my boss. I respect that you're my boss. You know what? And I'm here. I'm here
But
for
you
you. I'm
don't
here.
respect.
I'm here an hour and a half late, but am I still here 5 days a week? Sometimes six, like once every 6 months, but yeah, sometimes six.
How is that? Explain to me how that is respect. How showing up to work when I
Let me
you
ask you a question.
make
Let me ask you a
me
question.
look
You
like an
have
idiot.
kids. You have kids, right? You have kids. You have
I
kids,
do
right?
have kids.
How many kids you have?
I have two kids.
Okay. Now, if one of your kids came home with an 83 on a chemistry test, what would you tell them?
I would tell them good job.
Okay, that's what I'm doing for you. Thank you. Thank you. Meeting adjourned. Good job. I appreciate you.
There. Insane, hilarious ending.
That was great.
Anthony, what the fuck? That was so you
I was
something.
getting personal. I was getting personal.
83 say to him. Exactly. So funny. Guys, that was great. Great job on the LaRonde. I'm going to dive into some notes now. Feel free to just pop your hand up if you need a clarifier or like have a question off of anything I'm going to say. Okay. Um, Richard and Agnes, I fucking loved the awkward physicality at the beginning of this scene. Like I'm just watching you guys, and I don't know if anything you're doing is like I don't know if I know Richard, you were definitely making some deliberate choices. You were like pouring your drink and then like sipping your drink awkwardly and like going to say something and then stopping, and it was fucking hilarious to watch. And like Agnes, I could feel your anxiety brewing. Like you were there physically, but you felt a million miles away, which was like awesome to just see that, like I'm just watching that happen. You're not even noticing Richard, who's clearly trying to hit on you the entire fucking scene. And it was so funny. Yeah, I love the cadence. It was so slow and anxious, Agnes. You really were. I could just feel the anxiety and like this was the last place you wanted to be, but you needed to be there. Um, uh, Richard, I loved how nervous you were. I could tell that you liked her. That was the thing, right? Like that was kind of like was that like your own little secret? Was like you kind of like Agnes?
Yeah. It wasn't intentional. It didn't start off that way, but it became that, like, a line in. I was like, oh, that's where it is.
I picked up on it literally right from the beginning with like your awkward, like, how do I talk to this woman? Like I'm an actor. So like I'm filling in your guys' inner monologues as I'm watching it. So I'm watching Richard and I'm like, his inner monologue right now is like, how do I speak to the most beautiful woman at this PTA meeting? Like that was like what it felt like. Um, Yeah, the whole time I was just like, oh my God, tell her you love her. Just tell her you love her. That's all I kept writing. I was like, tell her. Yeah, so good. I loved when Agnes just sort of like brain dumped on you and you were like, that, wow, that's a lot. It was so real. The single parent hint, like when you mentioned that you were a single parent, I was like, oh my God, just tell her you're in love with her. Okay, here's my one thing. So empathy, vulnerability, compassion, right? Those are the three we always want to check back in with. So, like, this whole scene was fucking awesome, but he offered you the solution you wanted, Agnes. And so, right, this is the thing that all improvisers do when we get the thing we want. We panic. We're like, oh no, now what? So, we end up doing that thing where we go in a circle and we just try to recycle the same thing, but like kind of change the words around, right? So, it was like, you dumped on him. I'm a single mom. I can't afford like blah blah blah. If I'm here, it means I, can't buy groceries this week. Then he was like, okay, I'll give you money. I'll pay for it. And you're like, you're not getting it. I blah blah blah. And you went into the same kind of a monologue where it was like, if it means that I either like have to not eat or I'm going on a diet or whatever. And I was like, guys, sometimes this happens. Our scene partner gives us what we want. So then we have to treat it like reality. So in a real situation, right? Like Agnes, I think from your character standpoint, she was not venting to Richard in order to get money from him. I don't think that was her intention at all. But just like every regular human on the planet, what happens when we like brain dump on someone and they're like, oh, let me just fix your problem? And you're like, no, like the real reaction is like, no, 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 that's not what this was. No, no, no. Oh my God, I can't take that. Oh my God, I like, stop it. Like, this is ridiculous. This is just, I just need it to vent, right? Like that's the reality. What ends up happening, and this is what all improvisers do, is we go into woe is me mode where we're like, here's my problem. Oh, you fixed my problem? I didn't want you to fix my problem. I just wanted to complain. And instead of just saying that, which would make the scene so much easier to then communicate with your scene partner, we just try to like do it with our words. We're like, no, don't solve my problem. Because then what are we supposed to do for the rest of the scene? No, it's not about the problem. It's about you guys. Great. Let him solve your problem. And then look at him and notice that he's in love with you and let that be the rest of your scene. Yeah, to me this scene was great with like cadence wise, pacing was really beautiful. But we got worried that the problem was fixed, so we kept making the problem a problem. So just fuck that. It's never about the problem, it's about you guys. If he solves your problem, make the fact that he solved your problem the next problem, because if that's solved, what's next? It's not just the food, it's the rent and it's the bills and it's going to the doctor and it's this and that. It's like there's a million things. I'm only an aunt and I see it with my niece and nephew of like, if it's not one thing, it's 80 other things that they're gonna like make you stressed about. So yeah, don't be afraid for your problems to get solved in your scenes, because it's just gonna open the door for the next thing for you and your scene partner to tackle. Okay, Agnes and Bill, I loved your entrance, Bill, so much. It was so strong. And I knew immediately when you started speaking, even though you kept calling her kiddo, I was like, he's the ex. There was something so condescending about kiddo that I was like, you are an ex-boyfriend I had, and I hate you, Bill, but all in the best ways possible. Yeah. Switching weekends, nice, simple, right? Like this is a nice, simple problem that we can lay out. And again, Agnes, you can easily solve it. You could just say yes, or we could dive into a million other things. I loved that this, Agnes, you chose this scene to be so fucking hard on your sleeve, vulnerable. I want to get back together. Great. Let's embrace this reality. So like Bill, I fucking loved when you were just simple, right? Like, no, I don't see us getting back together. Like, you guys can both be great parents to these kids. Doesn't mean you have to be a couple, right? I love when you said, I think that ship has sailed. The look on Agnes's face when you said that was fucking heartbreaking. And the fact that you, Bill, didn't hesitate, you just kept going. I was like, oh my God, this feels like exes. This is like so heartbreaking, right? Where it's like one is so clearly moved on and the other one has not. And that's a sad scene to live in. Don't go in circles, right? So if she's not getting it, Bill, if she's not taking no for an answer, Don't be nice anymore. Be an asshole. What do you want me to say, Agnes? I'm seeing someone else. I'm not getting back together with you. I'm in a happy relationship. It's not my fault that you can't move on. I'm sorry, that was harsh, right? You can always double back and go back to empathy and go back to compassion, but you can let anger yank on that steering wheel a little bit to get the point driven home. Again, we're all the nicest people in the world until we start to get annoyed and we don't want to fucking explain ourselves anymore. So like, just go there. Yeah, that was like my only little like nitpicky note was we started to go in a circle again. Don't go in circle, just be mean. Or like Agnes on your end, if you feel like if you feel it on your side as the improviser, it's like, oh no, we're entering an improv circle, just change up the emotion, right? Where it's like, instead of, when we're together with the kids, we're such a good family, like instead of leaning into that side, you can be like, oh, you know what, you're right, I was just being silly, I'm seeing someone, I'm actually seeing someone, he also has a boat, right? Like you can just lean, again, treat it as reality. If we're with your ex, like you want to fucking flex if all of a sudden it means you're going to be the weak one in the breakup. Guys, I don't care how long you are together or how long the breakup's been, you're always trying to win the breakup, always. So keep trying to win the breakup, right? Yeah, and I loved, oh my God, Bill. And like, this is why I'm like, wouldn't it have been even more heartbreaking and beautiful if at the end she was like, I can't pay for these groceries. And you were like, I've got the groceries. If you had been an asshole at any point in that scene, because it just makes her even weaker to have to say yes to someone who is breaking her heart over and over again because she's that broke. Like that, it just adds layers. So don't be afraid to play with all those different emotions and tactics. Bill and Anthony. Okay, Anthony, you gave yourself the hard job. A therapist is very similar to old buddy because we ended up in recap, right? And I didn't learn anything about Anthony. I knew nothing about him. The littlest I got was that you guys went to high school together and you used to be in a big little group of friends. And Bill was the commander in chief, which to me is the funniest fucking nickname you could just give one of your buddies. There was a lot of really fun stuff in here. I love the Sambuca moment. The fact that you chose Sambuca, Bill, was just hysterical to me. I loved, Anthony, when you said to him, come over here, man. Come on, come over here. Let's do a shot. Like it just felt very like friendly and friendshipy. Um, but yeah, you guys got caught in a recap scene and it was all about Bill and I knew nothing about Anthony. And I just wanted to know, what do you want from each other? So like, Anthony, make that choice. We're old friends. What do you need from this old friend? Like, what do you want from him? What do you need? Make a choice. Like, it's all about like, what do you want from each other? It's always about you and your scene partner. What do you want from each other? And I mean, on the flip side, Bill, if you feel like you're not, if you as the improviser feel like Anthony has no idea what he wants right now, you give you a want. So you're out with an old friend and you're single. Are you trolling the bars for some tail? Or I don't know what the kids say anymore, but like, you know what I mean? Like, are you out with an old friend because you guys are both single and you're going to go hit on ladies? Are you out because you used to not be able to talk to your old friends because your ex-wife wouldn't let you? Like, make a choice and then go down that route. Like, have a nice, strong reason why you two are back together and back hanging out together. Today is the day. That's always like a good thing to think of as an improviser. Today is the day I what? So today is the day I go fucking wild with my buddy in the bar. Nice and simple. And then you guys can just yes and that. See where it goes. Yeah, great. Okay. Anthony and Richard. Richard, I loved your nervous energy at the start. I thought it was so palpable. I could like feel the anxiety again. I was like, ooh, and I could kind of tell we were in a work setting before you even said it. I was like, I feel like we're going to be at a job. And then you were like, okay, thanks for meeting me at my office. I was like, oh, great. Um, Anthony, you were so funny in this. I loved how you were defending your work so like passionately. And then when Richard said to you, like, no, you do good work, you were like, thank you for saying that. You were so quick to just shift into like, thank you. And it was so nice to see that. It was really funny. Um, okay, yeah. So like I was starting to write this and I was so glad eventually, Richard, you just said it, but I was like, guys, this has nothing to do with the work. This has to do with the fact that Anthony doesn't respect you, Richard. And then you were like, you said it to him. You were like, this isn't high school. Okay. you can't just talk over me and talk past me. I was like, great, yes, let's keep going. Make this the standing up to the bully, right? Like that's what this moment is. Um, okay, and but then you guys felt it, right? Anger was driving both your cars, and it was just like, I have to be right, you have to be wrong. That kind of felt like what the feeling was the whole time, versus how do you get through to your scene partner. It's always, even if you're mad at your scene partner, even if it feels like the conflict is between the two of you, it is always you and your scene partner versus the problem. It is never you versus your scene partner. Again, you can have moments of that. You can let anger yank on that steering wheel and you can blow up at your scene partner for a second. But always remember, it's you guys versus the world. So if you like, again, where this scene started, I was like, let's just keep leaning into this. It's a matter of respect. So if this is a scene where two men are demanding respect from each other, and that's what we're after, then you're going to find naturally more tactic choices as you go through the scene, because you can't demand anger with anger, or you can't demand respect with anger, right? Like that, no, you don't respect somebody who's just yelling or is angry all the time. So how do you find that point of connection to get that respect? Again, if that's your objective, go after that objective the whole time. I really did enjoy the fact, at one point, Richard, you said, you know what, you're not cool. Oh, Anthony, I wish you had latched onto that and just let the entire scene get silent. And you had just looked at him and said, fuck you, man. Like that is hilarious. But it's, again, if this is a man who, if we're gonna yes end all the stuff that came before this, that you were the popular guy in high school, Richard was not, you used to bully Richard in high school. If that's what it is, you were the cool guy. So someone telling you you're not cool, I don't care how old you are, it should devastate you. So like, let's yes end those moments. Um, yeah, still a very fun scene. And like I said, the ending was hilarious. It was a really funny way to end the set. Wow. Okay, 7:45. Okay, guys, that's a Laurent. You're all wonderfully talented. I'm so excited that this was only day one. Let's go around and do a quick little check-in. How are you feeling? And one good thing. What's something that really stood out today that you're gonna think about later, take with you for the week? Um, I don't know. I had a lot of favorites. I think honestly, my one of my favorite scenes of the entire day was Richard and Janice. I know Janice is not here, but I really enjoyed that sibling scene, moving mom into the nursing home. That was just, my parents are close to that age, so it bummed me out for the right reasons. Okay, Anthony, you're right next to me on the screen. Why don't you go first? How are you feeling? And
This is great. One thing I've been always saying to myself, with improv, I definitely want to increase my realm of emotions, heightening, with, physicality, my posture, and whatchamacallit. So I've done classes on heightening, like with Nick Cannell's Magnet, because he does a class on heightening, and then he'll add emotion and physicality. But this is more like, I think it's like acting towards improv. So I know you're an acting background, and I've always been wanting to take an acting class. So this is the acting class I'm taking.
yes, Anthony, good. I'm gonna start pushing the shit out of you with all the emotions. No, that's good to know that if that's something specifically you want to work on is emotion stuff. Guys, tell me what you want to work on. I'll focus my notes on that for you moving forward. I'm so glad to finally have you in one of my classes, Anthony. This is great. Awesome. Thank you so much. Was there anything about today that really stood out? Like one good thing that you're gonna think about later or laugh about later?
Oh yeah, like when you go into a scene, always have empathy and sympathy, compassion, and be vulnerable. Yeah, Chris Craig says something similar to that. He always says, always enter a scene with empathy, sympathy, compassion, high intelligence. So it's very similar to what he says because I've had him several times. So it's good because when you go in the scene, you're like lost. Like, what do I say? Like the who, what, where, the yes and.
Yeah.
But that's a good motto to go in a scene.
Yeah, go in with empathy. Always be, and yeah, look, guys, you're all improvisers. You're going to find so much crossover between all of the other classes you've taken and this class. It's just, instead of trying to apply it to like, and also find the funny thing, it's like, just fuck that. Don't worry about that. Just be there and just go from there. Awesome. Thank you so much, Anthony. Richard, talk to us. How are you feeling? One good thing.
Yeah, I know I'm feeling really good. I've been sort of I've been wanting to take out classes in other realms, and I love that this gives us an opportunity to to take an improv class in New York via California. Like that's awesome. And yeah, I just love. I'm finding a lot of clarity in how you phrase things. I'm taking like just notes. Like, all right, cool, that's good to know. Um, so yeah, I'm really in terms of feeling, I'm feeling inspired right now. Yeah, I really love the scene with Janice as well. But this last scene with Anthony, it was so great because it like he did such a great job of like just shutting me down, like and like so like I was just like, but and it was just a clear I think he knew what I was trying to do, and he was like, nope, 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 you're not going to get to do that, which was so great as a challenge for me to then try to figure out, and I totally see your note about like you can't meet anger with anger, so finding the alternative and so that's definitely something to that I'll take away from today as well.
Awesome. Richard, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I think we've all like worked with or had an employee like Anthony at some point where you're like, fuck you, dude. You're just shutting everything. I'm trying to be in charge here and you are not letting me. I mean, that was a fun example, right? Of like, Richard, you were the boss and supposed to be high status, but you were very much low
Oh, yeah.
status in that scene. So it's doable. Awesome. Thank you so much, Richard. Bill, talk to us. How are you feeling? One good thing.
Well, I really enjoyed it. I tend to go, in that triumvirate of pirate, ninja, robot. I tend towards the pirate, and so any chance I can to slow it down to your point and not become the pirate, that's a good day for me because I just no matter how sometimes I'm like, okay, no pirate, no pirate. Boom, next thing I know I'm in the scene and I'm like the crazy guy. So I really like it when I'm not actually, because I know I can do the pirate. At least I think I do.
Yeah.
But so I really enjoyed the scene with Agnes because when I went into it as the ex, I thought I was going to be like the goofy, like the devil may care. I'm going, but as it turned out, it was a much more serious and realistic, heartfelt scene that I enjoyed a lot. So that's what I take out.
Hell yeah.
Nice job, Agnes.
Nice job to you too, Bill. And yeah, that was I love that you're a pirate. I too am a pirate, so I feel you. I'm
Yeah.
kismet to that energy. So I'll definitely keep my eyes extra peeled for those big moves on your part and try and encourage some more ninja moves. Um,
Sometimes I can't help it.
I know it's well, thank you so much, Bill. Agnes, finish us off nice and strong. How are you feeling? And one good thing.
So I'm feeling good with where this is going. I know with the first scene that I did, well, first of all, like my background is I've had some acting classes in the past, like a decade ago, and at that time it was dramatic. It was more drama. It wasn't really comedy. And then once I started having kids, improv just made more sense in my life because there's no homework. And so, improv has always been comedy. And so it was distinct switch. It took me a while to figure out how to do comedy instead of doing drama. And so for me, improv is always comedy. And I noticed in the first scene that we did with the what was it? Where I was paired with Anthony. In my head, I could tell I was approaching it from a comic, like I could feel it. I could feel that it wasn't the drama acting. I could totally feel it was the comedy acting, and I couldn't get out of it. But I was like, God, this is the energy I could feel was comedic, and I'm like, I can't switch.
Right. That's what the first scene is for, guys. Like, get it out of your system, right? Like, that's why
Yeah.
status and emotion, because that's where we can have the really big emotion and you can go comedic with it in this first class, because it's a matter of like seeing and really understanding like, oh, okay, I can be that emotion, I can play that emotion without turning it up to a million. And again, I know it's hard because every single improv teacher you've all had has all been like, whatever your emotion is, turn it up to
Yeah.
and now I'm here like, guys, let's just lower the volume a little bit. But more than anything, it's not even about like not having a big strong emotion. You can have that big strong emotion, just think more grounded with it, where it's like in a grocery store, you can be crying while looking at a box of cereal. I've done it, but in real life, I'm not like sobbing. I'm like silently crying while reading the corn pops, right? So it's like that's the difference, where it's like you can have that extreme of an emotion, but have it be grounded in reality versus I'm going to play this for laughs, because you laughing at the corn puffs is going to be funny no matter how big or small those tears are, if we're living in the reality, right? If you're sitting there just silently crying and Richard starts the scene by going, ma'am, do you need help with anything? And you just look up with tears, that's fucking hilarious, no matter what. So yeah, I appreciate the fact that you're honest with yourself more than anything, of like, oh, I got stuck in the comedy. Take notice to that, write those moments down, so that way you can kind of like dissect them after the fact and go, why was I chasing the humor there? Why can't I just like, what about that scene made me uncomfortable that I couldn't just sit in the real of it? And you guys, I mean, like I joke all the time, it's very therapeutic. It isn't therapy, but this is a very therapeutic thing that we're going to be doing. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Agnes, and all of you.
Yeah.
This was such a lovely first day.
Oh, my favorite scene was the one with Bill in the grocery store, because for that one I felt I was more vulnerable. Like I actually felt, I'm like, okay, I think I can feel I'm not trying to push the comedic acting. And I think Bill just being kind,
Yeah.
you know, like I want to be pissed at my ex, but he wasn't giving me that chance to be pissed at my ex.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yes. And that's going to be so much of this class, is just like, again, go in with a choice. But if your scene partner is making you feel something different, honor that. Feel what you're actually feeling, loop it into what you're doing. So tomorrow, guys, we're going to have, I think, the full class tomorrow, but we're going to be working on endowments. So keep your eyes peeled. You're going to get an email from me a little bit later tonight or early tomorrow morning with the recording from class this evening. I posted onto YouTube under an unlisted private link, so it doesn't show up on any profiles or searches. Only those who have the link to the video will be able to see it. So I'm going to send it to the class. You guys, if you want to show it to friends, feel free, but you don't have to. It's just there for you guys to kind of go back and reference if you want to. And it's fun if at the end of these 3 weeks, go back and watch your first scene, because you'll be surprised at how much of a difference 3 weeks will make from that first scene in this class all the way to the last. So that's it, guys. Have a lovely, lovely evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night.
Thank you.